Man United exclusive news live. Sancho deletes statement. United eye Ferguson takeover latest as Ratcliffe breaks silence. Let's start. After Jadon Sancho has deleted his statement saying he was being made a scapegoat. So, The Guardian's Jamie Jackson reports that the move has raised hope within Man United that Sancho may be brought back into the fold. The tweet was made after Erik ten Hag left Sancho out of the United squad for their 3-1 defeat to Arsenal a fortnight ago. The move follows showdown talks between Sancho and ten Hag. Elsewhere, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has given a rare update on Manchester United's prolonged takeover. And Britain's richest man has admitted losing his battle with Sheikh Jassim would be too excruciating. Meanwhile, Man United are one of many Premier League clubs eyeing up a move for Brighton wonder kid Evan Ferguson, according to reports. Again and again, United signed most lucrative sponsorship in football. United's new shirt sponsor will be the most lucrative in football, according to reports. The BBC say that United will receive over $60 million a year for their new sponsorship with Snapdragon. Snapdragon is a phone and computer chip manufacturer owned by American tech company Qualcomm. The deal will kick in for the 2024-25 season, replacing TeamViewer. On the other side, Harry Maguire's nightmare continued as he scored an own goal during England's 3-1 win over Scotland yesterday. The defender scored an own goal in the 67th minute after coming on as a half-time substitute. England has been something of a sanctuary for the defender of late, with Southgate continuing to back the centre half. But it seems that his United form is now catching up with him, his own goal causing Scotland's most dangerous spell in the whole game. Elsewhere, no interest in El Ghazi. Sunsport understand that there is no interest from Manchester United in former Aston Villa winger Anwar El Ghazi. Reports emerged yesterday that United were looking at the free agent to address their shortcomings on the right wing. El Ghazi, 28, has been without a club since being released by PSV this summer. He attended United's 2-1 loss to Arsenal, which only added to the speculation, and has also worked with Erik ten Hag before. But there is no chance of a deal happening. The Manchester Evening News report that United will look to strengthen 4 key areas next summer. United intend to strengthen at fullback, centre-back, central midfield, and in attack. Again and again. It's been an underwhelming start to life at Man United for Mason Mount. The former Chelsea star was United's first signing of the summer and a player Erik ten Hag desperately wanted. So much so that the quest to finally sign an all-important striker was put on hold so the midfield could be enhanced first. Personal terms were swiftly agreed, but the deal dragged on. For a player out of contract in a year's time and unlikely to sign another, Chelsea drove a hard bargain. Bids of $40 million, $45 million, and $50 million were all rejected as United vowed their third offer would be their final one. That resolve lasted all of 3 days before they upped their bid once more to an initial $55 million, potentially rising to $60 million, and that time it was finally accepted. Though the price was steep, it looked like United had made a great addition in Mount. Though he had struggled for form over the last 18 months, it's hardly surprising given the circus Chelsea had descended into, and his talent remained obvious. Mount's always been loved by his managers, thanks to his tactical understanding, and at 24 remains at a good age for development and longevity, but is already vastly experienced. But despite all the positives, it just hasn't clicked so far. It's been an optimism-draining start to the season for United in general. They have lost against talented opposition in Tottenham and Arsenal, and only just managed to scrape past Wolves and Nottingham Forest for their 6 points, not to mention all the controversy off the pitch. The attack has been flat and uninspiring. The defense suddenly looks frail despite the best efforts of Andre Onana, and the setup of the team has looked disjointed and unbalanced. The latter point isn't Mount's fault as a player, but the job he has been asked to do by ten Hag has contributed heavily to the regression. On paper, Mount has been positioned alongside Casemiro in a double pivot, but in practice, Mount is much higher up the pitch, as Ten Hag wants him to help lead the press. It hasn't had the desired results. Instead, Casemiro has repeatedly been left completely exposed, often having 4 opponents within his vicinity at once, and that has allowed opponents to waltz through the heart of the side unimpeded. Mount was injured for the trip to Arsenal last Sunday, and it's telling that despite the result, United put in their best display of the season so far, with a return to Christian Eriksen sitting alongside Casemiro. Jadon Sancho deletes social media post hitting out at Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag. Man United star Jadon Sancho was involved in an astonishing exchange with Erik Ten Hag before the season's first international break. Jadon Sancho has deleted a bombshell social media post in which he undermined Erik Ten Hag. An astonishing exchange between Sancho and Manchester United manager Ten Hag took center stage during the season's first international break after the forward was dropped from the matchday squad against Arsenal. Ten Hag put that decision down to what he described as underwhelming training performances from Sancho. The 23-year-old hit straight back in a now-deleted message uploaded to X, formerly Twitter, in the aftermath. Ten Hag was thought to have stood by his original comments, while the ex-Borussia Dortmund player was due back at Carrington on Monday afternoon for discussions with the manager over his future. Ten Hag is expected to address that saga publicly during his next pre-match press conference. United resume their season against Brighton on Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m., and the Dutchman is due to speak 24 hours before. When first explaining Sancho's absence against Arsenal, Ten Hag said, "Jadon was not picked on his performance levels in the training. We didn't select him. You have to reach a level every day at Manchester United, and we can make choices on the front line. So for this game, he wasn't selected." Sancho, though, disagreed with that assessment from Ten Hag. In a short reply on X, he said, "Please don't believe everything you read. I will not allow people saying things that are completely untrue. I have conducted myself in training very well this week. I believe there are other reasons for this matter which I won't go into. I've been a scapegoat for a long time, which isn't fair. All I want to do is play football with a smile on my face and contribute to the team. I respect all decisions that are made by the coaching staff. I play with fantastic players and grateful to do so, which I know every week is a challenge. I will continue to fight for this badge no matter what." Before the Arsenal match, Sancho had featured against Wolves, Tottenham, and Nottingham Forest. The winger has totted up 76 minutes in 3 cameo appearances from the substitutes bench with no goals or assists.